The curtain falls on the 2020-21 Bundesliga season. Together with Germany and Bayern icon Philipp Lahm, we look back at an incredible campaign. RB Leipzig continued their upward trajectory under coach Julian Nagelsmann, proving to be tenacious challengers at the top end of the table. Top goals in the Bundesliga, chances easily taken, the most unlikeliest of strikes, long-range efforts and the tightest of angles, goal probability in the analysis. But first, it was another superlative season for Bayern, with Robert Lewandowski breaking age-old records and an unprecedented 9th title in a row.
Addicted to success, ravenous for records, endlessly resetting the bar ever upwards.
Playing for Bayern Munich means to be good is not enough. You have to be the best. I like this.
As he demonstrated this season like never before.
It's Lewandowski! It's always Lewandowski!
His goals, Bayern's trump card in a season which, for club legend Philipp Lahm, was
another very good one. They had a few off days, but no one took advantage of it.
44 goals against didn't help. The most they've conceded in a quarter of a century. A weak point one player in particular was certainly addressing with maximum vigor.
I always try to win, because then is more fun for me. I have this since I'm a little kid.
Joshua Kimmich, Bayern's midfield fixer, driving them ever forward as in the hard-fought Super Cup tussle with Dortmund, when Kimmich's sheer determination ultimately made the difference.
Incredible energy to make it 3-2. It's simply a testament to how he never gives up.
When he's missing, Bayern suffer. The first league meeting with Dortmund, this left him sidelined for 6 weeks.
Awful news.
Bayern eked out a 3-2 win, but in the games that followed without Kimmich, they lost top spot in the table. Their rivals sensed an opportunity, as did Bundesliga legend Lothar Matthäus.
Man kann auch den FC Bayern München schlagen.
Bayern can be beaten, also beaten to the title over the course of the season, but only if they slip up and you don't.
Keine Fehler erlauben.
In the final game of 2020, they reclaimed pole position after a summit meeting in Leverkusen. Kimmich on his comeback, teeing up the last gasp winner.
Lewandowski score! Bayern return to the top of the table.
Robert Lewandowski underscoring his freshly acquired status as the year's best FIFA men's player.
He's become a top personality over the past few years and a pillar for Bayern.
Also with a couple of club mates in the FIFA Pro World 11, and Manuel Neuer voted best keeper on the planet. Individual accolades for a team who'd swept all before them.
6th title within a year.
The Club World Cup wrapping up a sextuple only one coach had ever steered his side to before.
Big congratulations to all Bayer family for this incredible success.
Back from the Club World Cup in February, Bayern's next mini-slump offered their rivals fresh hope.
Leipzig closed the gap at the top to 2 points in the Bundesliga.
Leipzig war jetzt da.
Leipzig were right there. They'd earned 6 points when Bayern got just the one.
Haben sie 6 Punkte geholt.
Bayern under pressure. Their response, as so often, a demonstration of power. Turning an early 2-goal deficit at home to Dortmund into a late 4-2 Klassiker success. Lewandowski chipping in with a hat-trick.
This is what champions are made of.
A month later, the title showdown in Leipzig. Lewandowski out injured, Bayern wobbling.
Sabitzer!
But they didn't fall, instead seeing off their most stubborn pursuers.
That's it. It's finished. Leipzig 0, Bayern München 1.
There was no stopping them now on the road to a record-extending 9th straight title.
The boys gave it everything, which wasn't easy after last season's clean sweep.
It only remained for Robert Lewandowski to enter a new dimension. 41 goals for the season, dethroning a legend.
Gerd Muller's record stood for 49 years. He smashed it in the very last minute.
Legends grow and legends go. CEO Karl-Heinz Rummenigge after 30 years in board management at the club. His successor, Oliver Kahn. Treble winners from 2013 and 2020. Also Hansi Flick, who's bound for the national team. His successor, Julian Nagelsmann.
He's got a great aura about him. He can define a new era.
Times of change with one constant.
I like to be on the top.
Robert Lewandowski truly deserves his place in the history books. And finally, he does it! Week after week, the Polish striker broke records in his tireless quest for the magical 41-goal tally. He's now gained sporting immortality.
A moment very long in the making.
It's going to fall for Lewandowski! And finally, he does it! The record they said would never be broken is now his and his alone!
Robert Lewandowski and his historic 41-goal season.
He is a Bundesliga legend.
Never resting on his laurels, always pushing the envelope that bit further. Even before this extraordinary season, Robert Lewandowski had won everything. Champions League, Bundesliga, DFB Cup, UEFA Super Cup, Club World Cup, rounding out 2020 by topping the annual poll for Best FIFA Player. But even for him, one record looks like perhaps forever remaining a mountain too high. Gerd Muller's 40 league goals from back in 1971-72. On the other hand, if you wanted badly enough, the hunt began at an incredible pace. After matchday 5, he had 10 goals already.
Finished off by Lewandowski. Another Lewandowski hat-trick.
He's now on 22 goals in the first half of a Bundesliga season.
From there, he just kept going.
It's Lewandowski!
On matchday 26 against Stuttgart, Lewandowski rattled in a hat-trick, taking him up to 35 for the season.
And Lewandowski, another hat-trick!
Gerd Muller's record now firmly in his sights.
I have to stay calm. I don't want to make so big pressure on my head now and do it my job.
But then he injured his knee on international duty for Poland. The end of the record hunt? Not a bit of it. 4 goals in his first 2 games back against Mainz and Mönchengladbach, and on the penultimate matchday at Freiburg, his shot at a share of history.
Robert Lewandowski to equal the record! Robert Lewandowski is now a legend, and he knows who he's got to thank. Gerd Muller.
The final game of the season against Augsburg. 1 goal required for a new all-time record. Chances were spurned, good chances, until the very last minute.
It's going to fall for Lewandowski! And finally he does it! In the very last game of the season, he smashed it!
If you want to break so legendary record, maybe you need this drama. I don't know, I cannot explain. I still don't believe, but maybe tomorrow, maybe even 1-2 weeks later, I'm understood what I did.
A quite phenomenal achievement, also in the eyes of a fellow Bayern legend.
Incredible. Who'd really have thought he'd crack the record of Der Bomber? It's the absolute determination to score the next goal. Keeping at it, that makes him special.
The legendary Lewandowski, the most voracious of goal grabbers, a hunger from which even his own new benchmark is not safe.
Leipzig were Bayern's toughest challengers, with the meanest defence in the league. Extraordinary! And Julian Nagelsmann's own brand of total football produced goals from across the team.
RB Leipzig, the challengers.
We had a really good season last year, and our goal this season is to make it even better.
Hungry for success.
To lift, one of the first major trophies for the club is very important for us.
Dynamically developing under Julian Nagelsmann. Top of the table after matchday 5 and up for any sporting test on or off the pitch. With players like Tyler Adams also ready to hit new heights. Bundesliga rivals number 1, Bayern München, who they travelled to meet on matchday 10. A 6-goal thriller that was one of the best games of the entire season.
And Forsberg is all alone. Beautiful football on display.
The 3-3 draw showing Leipzig could hold their own against the best, and confidence suitably high.
Every player here wants to win a trophy, and we have the hunger to do it, so that's no sticking point.
They say defences win titles, and Nagelsmann was making Leipzig's ever more title-worthy, expanding it as here to a 7-man unit. Take control of the centre through sheer numbers. Keep the opposition off the ball in areas of particular danger, with a prominent role for Dayot Upamecano. The powerful French defender's top speed of over 35 kilometers an hour, another huge asset.
Wonderful defending once again from Upamecano.
Between the posts, Peter Gulacsi kept a league-high 15 clean sheets. With just 32 goals conceded, Leipzig had the tightest defense in the Bundesliga. Impressive also for the experts.
A goalkeeper you can rely on, the central defenders, holding midfielders. That's a team's essential defensive backbone, and it's been exceptionally good for Leipzig over the season.
Summit showdown in April. The best defense against the best attack. Bayern went into it with a 4-point advantage. A hard-fought tussle decided by a single goal, and that effectively was that.
Good stuff from Müller, back here for Goretzka! That is the class of champions.
The DFB Cup final, one game from glory. Again, it was not to be for Leipzig as Dortmund swept them aside 4-1.
Erling Haaland to score!
So, no silverware for the Saxons this season, and big changes before the next. Defensive linchpin Upamecano is off to Bayern, as is coach Nagelsmann, who's penned a 5-year deal with the record champs.
I'm glad it's worked out. It's a special package. I wouldn't have ended my contract here for other clubs.
His successor at Leipzig, Jesse Marsch. He was here for a year as Ralf Rangnick's assistant. Now he's got the main job after steering RB Salzburg to successive Austrian titles.
This is a club that makes dreams come true. Not just for players, but for coaches as well.
Last 16 of the Champions League, DFB Cup finalists and Bundesliga runners-up. Leipzig's title hunger will be all the sharper next season.
Goal probability in an analytical nutshell. From which positions is the ball least likely to land in the net? Which present the most straightforward scoring opportunity? And who has most spectacularly defied the odds this season?
The simplest scenario to illustrate scoring probability is the penalty kick. 77% every time. Always the same parameters with a 37-degree angle to goal. In it goes. Max Kruse is a true spot kick specialist, making best use of these standard parameters. Staring down the keeper, hesitating till he makes his move, then planting it in the other corner. 95% success. Quite the overachiever. It's rare to get an opportunity more statistically clear-cut than a penalty. But here's one for Leverkusen's Florian Wirtz. Bang in front of goal with an immense area to aim for. Goal probability 98%. He has to net this, and he does. The tighter the angle, the harder it gets. Bielefeld's Johan Simon Edmundson picked out the tightest of them all on matchday 2. Here, he's almost on the goal line, a mere 6-degree angle of opportunity, and the keeper directly in his path, adding up to a 13% goal probability. Edmundson finds the gap all the same. The season's top 3 overperformers. Andrej Kramaric of Hoffenheim, his shooting angle here just 21 degrees. With 6 opponents around him, it makes for a lowly 4% scoring probability. With terrific technique and a hunter's instinct, he finds the net anyway. Kramaric's expected goals count for the campaign was 15. He actually scored 20. Stuttgart's Sasha Kalajdzic with this header from more than 11 metres out. and 2 defenders putting him under intense pressure. But 2-metre-tall Kalajdzic has the jump on them, and 3.5% likelihood notwithstanding, the ball sails into the Dortmund net. On 16 for the season, Kalajdzic exceeded his ex-goals forecast by almost 7. The ultimate overperformer, who else but the best FIFA player, Robert Lewandowski. Technique meets focus meets outstanding physical control, transforming an expected goals tally of 28.7 into the new Bundesliga record of 41. Here he's 22 metres out with 2 opponents in his line of fire, plus the keeper. Goal probability 4.5%, but Lewandowski drills it in at 108 kilometres an hour. This guy simply defies the laws of probability. The less the likelihood, the greater the possibility for something quite out of the ordinary. That was the ex-goals factor this season.
Coming up with Philipp Lahm, the race for Europe continued apace throughout the season, full of twists and turns. The battle to avoid the drop and the fight for promotion went down to the final match day. Schalke said farewell after 30 years in the top flight, while rivals Dortmund endured a campaign of highs and lows.
Another season, another roller coaster ride in black and yellow, with its ups and downs. Outstanding at times, but lacking the consistency to challenge at the very top. With a fantastic finish for all that, their first major trophy since 2017. All's well that ends well, let's take it a step at a time. It was youth to the fore for starters, in some style.
He's the youngest player in Bundesliga history to get a hat-trick of assists.
I only need to say a couple of words, and that's, yeah, he's the American dream.
So far, so good, with Erling Haaland scoring, Gio Reyna laying them on, and everyone else doing their bit. The Matchday 5 derby against Schalke, a comfortable 3-0 win.
We're not giving the ball away as cheaply as last season, and our defensive discipline and stability has also improved.
Then came Der Klassiker, at home to Bayern in early November. A 3-2 defeat, and the dawning realization in the Dortmund camp that they might struggle again to compete with the very best. The month ended with another home loss to Köln. That was bad enough. But there was worse to come.
When we don't defend aggressively and collectively, it ends up like it did today. That was really shameful. Basically, just a catastrophe.
It is a fabulous 5 for Stuttgart.
This one will take a while to digest.
Indeed, a 5-1 striping from Stuttgart, heralding the parting of ways with Lucien Favre, and a shotgun promotion for his assistant, Edin Terzic. But the team's form and fortunes remained patchy. No great change for starters.
Far too inconsistent, with a balance not quite right between defense and attack.
That from a man who won everything in football, Philipp Lahm. They certainly weren't lacking for star talent. Prime example, Erling Haaland. As hungry in training as in competitive action. Duly noted by sports journalists who voted him best under-21 player in Europe.
Hey guys, so happy to have been awarded the Golden Boy 2020. Thanks to everyone who voted for me.
Young and younger. A day after turning 16, his Bundesliga debut. The youngest player ever to run out in the Champions League. And youngest Bundesliga scorer of all time.
Youssoufa Moukoko, the youngest ever goal scorer. He's rewriting history.
But where does it all get you if you're coming up short when it really matters? Matchday 27, a pivotal home meeting with direct rivals Frankfurt.
Andre Silva! It is Frankfurt in lead by 2-1.
That seemed to be that for the minimum season target of Champions League qualification. But hope springs eternal.
Of course, the chances are now a bit smaller, but it's still possible. It's 7 points, 7 games left. So we're going to fight for each and every point, and we're going to see what we're going to get in the end of the season.
His first head coaching post in senior football, and Edin Terzic was proving a singularly cool customer. Whatever the setback, however widely his team were being written off. Then they started winning again and didn't stop.
Jadon Sancho! That is the most crucial goal of the season for Borussia Dortmund.
7 league wins on the spin to end the campaign, and victory in the DFB Cup final, with the skipper back to his best, just like fellow ball artist Jadon Sancho. Dortmund playing with their panache of old. Their season, in short,
Haaland's volley is beautiful beyond compare.
these pictures, these characters.
Obviously, was a good win.
You know, it's the breezy way.
Yeah, 4-0.
Hey,
4-0. We go again.
Finishing with a flourish and fresh momentum to carry into next season, when they'll have a new coach in Marco Rose. He can look forward to working with this team.
Champions Bayern, runners-up Leipzig and Dortmund in third. Behind them, 4 more teams also made it into Europe next season after very contrasting journeys.
Just the start that Leverkusen wanted.
Leverkusen came belting out of the blocks, top of the table and still unbeaten after match day 12. But then came Bayern.
There's Lewandowski. There's the equaliser. Robert Lewandowski scores. Heartbreak for Leverkusen.
Heralding a change for the worse. Just 3 wins from the next 14, down to 6th place, and out went coach Peter Bosz. In came Hannes Wolf, who restored a measure of stability and secured qualification for the Europa League. A satisfying conclusion also for the retiring Bender twins, Sven and Lars.
Careers that began together will finish together. Lars Bender on for twin brother Sven. And Lars will take this penalty. His first game since January. Lars Bender scores!
Frankfurt timed things differently. 12 games in, they were treading water mid-table. Europe seemed a long way off, but one man started firing them in the right direction.
Andre Silva!
Silva scores! It's Andre Silva!
From match day 13 on, they won 12 out of 16 games. The form team over the middle of the campaign. Andre Silva's final 28-goal tally, a new club record. The Eagles were soaring towards the Champions League until they took a late-season buffeting.
Through Hoppe! 4-2 Schalke. Adi Hütter does not know what's hit him. 3 goals in 12 minutes.
5th place and Europa League qualification. Still no mean feat for the team under Adi Hütter, who's departing Frankfurt after 3 years for Mönchengladbach.
Obviously, it's sad to be leaving, as this team have brought me such joy and pleasure.
Replacing Hütter in Frankfurt, Oliver Glasner, fresh from a fantastic season at Wolfsburg. With 3 key ingredients in his recipe for success. Number 1, a 20-goal striker.
Weghorst! The dependable Dutchman strikes!
Number 2, a rock-solid defence, including a club record 7 straight clean sheets for keeper Koen Castells.
Saved by Castells, a huge piece of goalkeeping.
Number 3, an impressive consistency. Wolfsburg never lost more than 2 games running. Their reward, only a 3rd ever ticket to the Champions League. Righteous celebrations among 2,000 home fans in Berlin after Union's last-minute smash and grab.
And it's Kruse! And Union are going into continental competition.
Victory over the Bundesliga runners-up, earning a remarkable 7th place finish and qualification for the new Europa Conference League. The Irons are going international.
The pain of relegation. The joy of promotion, an emotional rollercoaster ride that ended with high drama on the final match days, with big clubs departing and others returning to former glory.
Between delight and despair.
And it's all over for Werder Bremen. They are down.
Frustration and jubilation.
And now it's official. Bochum are returning to the Bundesliga.
The battle to make or stay in the Bundesliga. It's an emotionally charged affair, ending in dramatic failure for some, spectacular success for others. Football can sometimes really hurt. The matchday 30 loss at Bielefeld mathematically sealed Schalke's fate. Relegated from the Bundesliga, that last happened 33 years ago. The Royal Blues' fate was sealed early. Others resisted what seemed theirs. At the midway mark, Mainz were alongside Schalke adrift at the bottom. Then came Bo Svensson, himself once a player at Mainz under future Champions League winning coaches Thomas Tuchel and Jürgen Klopp.
I learned a lot from both of them, also about interpersonal relationships.
Svensson breathed new life into Mainz, the fifth best team of the Rückrunde, soaring from 17th to 12th in the final standings. Hertha Berlin also hauled themselves to safety. Under returning club icon Paul Dardai, an 8-game unbeaten run through to the penultimate matchday kept them afloat.
Delight for Hertha, they have secured their safety in the Bundesliga at the end of a turbulent season.
Joy also for Bielefeld. A win at Stuttgart, fellow promotees last season, ensured their top-flight adventure continues next season.
Arminia Bielefeld will remain with the elite of German football.
By contrast, bewilderment in Bremen. After long looking clear of danger, the Green and Whites took just a single point from their last 10 games. A 4-2 home loss to Mönchengladbach ended their 40-year stint at the top table. Thomas Schaaf, who'd steered them to the double in 2004, couldn't save the day either.
The Bundesliga will miss them, and it's a bitter blow for the region. The club are a part of its identity. You see how people get behind their team. It's bad news for the entire region.
Bremen demoted after direct rivals Köln struck at the last against Schalke.
Back across the face of the goal for Bono! 4 minutes on the clock!
Köln earning a dramatic playoff reprieve. There against Bundesliga 2 third-place finishers Holstein Kiel, they lost the home leg 1-0. But in the return, the Billy Goats really hit their stride.
There's another headed opportunity, and it's in!
5-1 at the finish. Köln are staying in the Bundesliga, where they'll be joining them on the final match day.
After 11 years, Bochum are returning to the Bundesliga.
Greuther Fürth are back as well. A nerve-wracking 3-2 win against Düsseldorf fired the Cloverleaves into the top flight for only the second time. Delight and disappointment. The battle for a Bundesliga berth had it all once again this season.
Reality bites. End of April defeat at Bielefeld and Schalke definitively down.
A giant has fallen.
I'm thankful to this club for so much. And when it comes to the point that we're not playing in the Bundesliga next season, it's hard.
That moment had come. Long unimaginable, then taking on a grim inevitability as their wretched season unfolded, and now formally confirmed.
I was still battling with myself and not able to comfort anyone else. To be honest, it's our own fault.
Club legend Gerald Asamoah, the players, the fans, they all saw it coming. But that didn't diminish the hurt when it came.
Relegation was inevitable, but I still shed a tear on that Tuesday evening.
They got off to the worst possible start. The campaign curtain raiser away to Bayern, a total mismatch.
Treble winners, Bayern underlying their supremacy.
It's no disgrace to lose in Munich, but 8-0? That was the catalyst for a rash of unwelcome club records. 14 match days without a single win. By the time they did finally get off the mark, against Hoffenheim in January, they were already on their 4th coach of the campaign. By the finish, they were on number 5, just 3 league wins all season, and those iconic Ruhr District derbies both lost to the aggregate tune of 7-0.
We've seen so many great derbies, like the 4-2 win at Dortmund only 2 years ago. I'll miss those derbies like crazy.
As will they all, the long-suffering fans of one of Germany's most emotion-fueled clubs. Fighting spirit and honest graft, that's what counts most around here. With over 160,000 members, Schalke are one of the biggest sports clubs in the world. Club and fans in symbiosis, on occasion generating a momentum that can propel the team to unanticipated heights, like 1997's UEFA Cup triumph. And this, exactly 20 years ago, the most dramatic of season finales, a long-distance shootout with Bayern. Schalke's first Bundesliga title, so they thought, for 4 minutes, before having to watch on the big screen as Bayern wrenched it back from their grasp. The champions of the heart, scant consolation for their stricken fans. On this they could long rely. Die Knappenschmiede, the renowned Royal Blue Academy, launchpad for many a glittering career. Manuel Neuer, Benedikt Hövedes, Mesut Özil, Leroy Sané, Thilo Kehrer. The list goes on. They played here alongside other superstars like Raúl, who wrote on the day they were relegated, "We live you, blue and white for life."
I can only assure the fans we'll do everything to get back in the Bundesliga as soon as possible.
The time for tears is over. Now Schalke must get back to basics. Dig deep, fight hard as tradition demands. Never have those royal blue virtues been more urgently required than now.
Still to come with Philipp Lahm. Season surprises. Union Berlin celebrated their 2nd season in the top flight with European qualification. Jamal Musiala and Jude Bellingham with their precocious talents in our tactical analysis. The unstoppable force of nature that is Erling Haaland. But first, an animated take on the season gone by.
What have a set of shelves, an umbrella, a whistle and a pump got to do with this Bundesliga season? Not much, except we need them for our special awards ceremony. First up, Robert Lewandowski. He cracked one best mark after another this season. Best missed chance. And of course, the Bundesliga scoring record with 41 goals. Great stuff, Levi. And to help ensure you can showcase all those trophies, from us, here's a useful set of shelves. Next prize goes to Erling Haaland, the Bundesliga player of the season. 20 years young, 27 goals for the campaign. When he gets going, there's no stopping him. So, for everyday purposes, we thought this whistle might come in handy. Haaland's team Dortmund came on strong down the home straight to snatch 3rd place. Coach Edin Terzic got his troops really pumped up for that final run-in, so he might appreciate a brand new pump. Congratulations, Edin. Downward bound at a dizzy rate this season, the unfortunate Schalke. To help slow their descent, how about this tumble-resistant umbrella? Come back soon, Erwin. From Ruhr District rivals to the Battle of Berlin, Hertha versus Union, the distinguished old lady and the plucky underdog, with Hertha naturally winning out. Oh, no, actually, Union are the top dogs now. We knew it all along. All that remains is the special prize for the various gents who'll be settling into a new coaching zone next season. We've had a whip round and got them some super practical pens for the moving boxes. And that's that. Bayern have received their silverware already. If you need somewhere to put it, guys, you can always ask Levi.
What more can be said about him?
Erling Haaland! Just what Borussia Dortmund needed!
Erling Haaland, goal machine, entertainer, record hunter.
Erling Haaland! He is quite simply a born goal scorer.
When Dortmund needed him, he was there. Voted Bundesliga player of the season for good reason.
His very name promising something special, something extraordinary.
Oh, lovely stuff! Erling Haaland to make it 2! What a hit!
A promise he's fulfilled again this season. 27 goals, some of the most spectacular variety. At just over 36 kilometers an hour, the 20-year-old Norwegian was the league's second fastest player to boot. It makes for an impressive all-round package, as former world-class defender Philipp Lahm agrees.
He's incredibly robust and uses his body really well. He's also very, very quick and an exceptional finisher. When a striker has all those qualities, it makes life really hard for any defender.
Perfect example, his second goal against Mönchengladbach in Dortmund's campaign opener. When Haaland gets going, there's no stopping him. Accelerating over 38 meters in 18 strides, Gladbach's Nico Elvedi needs 2 more and can't keep pace with him. Haaland simply keeps going like a track athlete, shaking off opponents through to the finish.
And Erling Haaland! It's Erling Haaland at the double.
Erling the brace bagger, scoring twice or more on 11 different match days this season past. That's a league high. And a quadruple at Hertha on match day 8, the youngest player to score 4 goals in a single Bundesliga game.
Jude Bellingham slips it through for Erling Haaland!
Dortmund's season was far from straightforward, but in Haaland they could trust.
And Haaland! What a crucial goal that could be in the Champions League equation.
In the DFB Cup final as well, another brace in the 4-1 thumping of Leipzig.
He's one of the hungriest players on this planet, and we are so happy that he's with us.
Overall, Haaland's 43 Bundesliga appearances have yielded 40 goals, a record for a player under 21. A little wonder even the referees want to swap shirts with him. But he knows he's no one-man band either.
When my teammates are so good, you know, then it's getting easy sometimes, you know, to create chances and to play with them, you know, because they're so good.
Erling Haaland, from superstar in the making to superstar full stop.
It was a memorable season of interviews for Patrick Ovomoyela, with his entertaining guests providing intriguing insights and comic interludes, as well as proving worthy adversaries.
His guests, the Bundesliga creme de la creme.
Okay, let me go like this.
With him, the debonair master of ceremonies.
Really better.
Sometimes on location, sometimes virtually connected.
Looking lower won't help.
And at all times, unflappable.
A very long week if we were supposed to train every day, so...
Sorry, a light's just dropped from the ceiling here.
Interview of the month highlights with Patrick Ovomoyela.
Oh, that's fast. There he goes. All the way down the slope. And then what happens? That was a foul. We need the VAR. Something was wrong. The pitch maybe. I don't know.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You've equalled an age-old Bundesliga record. 16 penalties taken, 16 scored.
Das waren 16 Versuche und 16 Treffer.
Check how often the keeper went the right way. Never.
Talking about all that success, where do you keep all your trophies? Do you have enough room for them?
Yeah, I have 2 rooms, because one in Warsaw, one here in Munich. So I always find the space for the new trophy.
You want to play being 40 years old. Have I said that? I read so. I heard that. So is that something you really aim for?
The way I feel after training today, 40 is a long game.
I was playing in a friendly for Dortmund for the reserves, and when I scored, I copied that celebration of his after his goal against Germany. Pull off the shirt, flex the muscles, but it was just embarrassing.
The Flow Kings are
an amazing group of people rapping, singing, and I think we have a big future ahead of us.
Der kan nok slutte å prate så mye, da blir det ikke noe løye.
One day we will come with some new music.
And I wanted always playing only football during the time in school, but my father said to me, no, today you won't play football, you play basketball, volleyball, handball, everything, gymnastics as well.
As a youngster, I was also playing golf and handball pretty intensively. At one point, I actually considered packing in the football.
Fußball auch aufhören wollte. Yeah, I was good in handball, but I liked football more, and I think it was a good choice.
Yeah, it was kind of a good choice. But let's see. When it comes to food and beverages, what's your biggest sin?
Anything sweet.
Anything
sweet.
The gums.
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 Weingummi in German. Yeah.
Not chewing gum. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
It's beer. I mean, it's not a sin. I mean, I'm just a normal, at the moment, 30-year-old guy, and there's a little bit of Kreisliga Fußballer in me.
I like to challenge my guests. Hey, stay. Yeah.
Wow, come on.
I've won a challenge. Maybe this season's going better for me.
Should be home and dry now. No. No!
No!
Yeah.
Yes! No!
That was on the cards.
No! Okay. 1, 2, 3. 9! So there's the man who can work under pressure. Okay. I lost again. Yeah, and I lost again. Come on. Finally, I ended this show with a win again. That feels so good. I hope you liked it. See you next time. Bye.
Union Berlin took the Bundesliga by storm again, qualifying for Europe in dramatic fashion.
The kind of moments that football's all about.
While Rookie of the Season Silas Wamangituka helped fire promoted Stuttgart to a top-half finish.
Promoted Stuttgart with an excellent 9th place finish and a brilliant breakthrough star in Silas Wamangituka. His campaign was cut short by injury after being voted 3-time Rookie of the Month. Now he's Rookie of the Season as well.
Silas Wamangituka and a maiden Bundesliga goal.
His Bundesliga debut marked with a goal, the first of 11 over the campaign. The league's top-scoring African player, just one of many attributes.
Stuttgart's quickest player, dynamic, a good finisher, and a battler as well.
The 21-year-old Congolese attacker has a simple recipe for success.
Work, work, work. I love it. Because when you work well, you reap the rewards.
Wamangituka grew up in the DR Congo's sprawling capital, Kinshasa. The skills that he honed on the streets there have also served him well in his maiden Bundesliga season, which was brought to an abrupt close by a ruptured knee ligament on matchday 26. A bad injury and a heavy blow, but the Rookie of the Season is a fighter as well.
I'm an optimist. I approach everything in life with a positive attitude. A Bundesliga football fairy tale, scripted by the capital city underdogs, Union Berlin with a last gasp entry for the archives.
And it's Cruiser! And Union are going into continental competition.
You work for these moments all season. Today we're on the sunny side of the street.
Ja, heute sind wir auf der Sonnenseite, ja.
And how fitting that Max Kruse put the seal on it all. The unconventional frontman, whose arrival last summer was greeted with perplexity in some quarters. Was his star Elio really a good match for the Union collective?
Max ist ein Typ.
Max is a character. On the one hand, you always want these kind of characters, and then, when you've got one, there's complaints because they sometimes do their own thing. With Max, all I can say is that it's great fun.
Union's 11-goal top scorer in the league, who even helped himself to a share of a Bundesliga record this season past, netting his 16th consecutive penalty. Max Kruse, reliably ice cool from the spot.
Is there a better penalty taker on the planet than Max Kruse?
For the goalkeeper as well. At some point, he's got to make a decision, and I just have to hope I decide later or make the right call.
Oder die richtige Entscheidung treffen.
With Kruse and Union hitting it off from the start, they were flying high in 6th place after matchday 9. Then their new star got seriously injured.
Well, signs perhaps that the way Max Kruse is talking that it does not look good.
No more Kruse control for now. How would they respond?
Awani with the breakthrough!
Taiwo Awani, their next trump card. The Nigerian striker helped Union maintain the run of form that saw them lose just 3 games in the Hinrunde.
For us, it's all about family. It's all about looking after each other. It's all about seeing each other, helping each other on the field of play.
The Irons were also the only team Bayern couldn't beat in the league this season, drawing home and away. No fear of big reputations.
Man sieht da taktisch, was sie vorhaben.
Their tactics revolve around getting forward quickly and exploiting set-piece situations. The coach's handiwork is very evident.
Handschrift des Trainers, ganz klar, würde ich sagen.
It'll be floodlights on at the Alte Fürsterei next season, with Union Berlin, Germany's first representatives in the new Europa Conference League.
Two top teen talents tearing through the Bundesliga. Bayern ball merchant Jamal Musiala and Jude Bellingham, precocious string puller for Borussia Dortmund. Which specific qualities make this duo so special and so difficult for opposition defences to get to grips with? Here's the analysis.
Musiala's first Bundesliga goal against Schalke. At 17 years and 205 days old, Bayern's youngest ever top-flight scorer. Cutting in from out wide, intent on mischief, just as Iron Robben used to do so often from the opposite flank. The things tomorrow's stars will emulate in childhood kickabouts. It's not just the Schalke defence he leaves standing. Teammate Thomas Müller's looking for the layoff. Or he could play it to Robert Lewandowski, who's known for nabbing the odd goal. But neither they nor his 3 opponents will come between Musiala and his objective here. Self-confidence, clearly not an issue. Away to Wolfsburg. They won't forget him in a hurry. Musiala a step ahead in his planning. 3 men between him and the goal. When he gets the ball, he's good to go in an instant, slaloming past a lot of them before applying the finish. Wolfsburg again. This kind of close control requires the instep and outside of the boot and both feet. Too quick? It is for the Wolves as well. And once more, taken with the left, switch to the right, right again, back onto the left and then the right-footed finish. 7 touches, all perfectly controlled. For Musiala's markers, that dexterity off either foot spells big trouble. Receiving the ball, he shows his opposite number. He's about to hang a right. The defender shifts position accordingly, only for Musiala to switch feet and direction. And in it goes. Heady stuff. Dortmund's Jude Bellingham, a midfield fixer mature beyond his 17 years, averaging an industrious 71 ball contacts per game. Always ready to receive it, and when he gets it, always with an idea of what comes next. His match intelligence, his reactive speed, moving into the gap even as it opens up and making out of that opening an assist.
Bellingham and Haaland!
Pressurise, win the ball, chase it down. He's equally diligent in his defensive duties, covering more than 50 metres here before laying on the goal. That's Bellingham in a nutshell. A precocious master of his craft, also in terms of his positional play and timing, with an uncanny feel for when to make the pass and when to go it alone. Yet another rare asset. A box-to-box midfielder now also developing an eye for goal. His first in the Bundesliga at Stuttgart. Scoring probability, 6%. He'll take it. Jamal Musiala is going to the European Championships. Jude Bellingham has made the England squad. The international stage is awaiting two top talents.
He will be remembered as one of the greatest players that the world has ever seen.
One of the saddest events of the season, a poignant moment for football's global community. The death of an all-time great, Diego Armando Maradona. A legend of the German game turned 60, FIFA's first World Player of the Year, Lothar Matthäus.
He's definitely the best I ever played with.
A great captain, always led by example.
A season also of remarkable firsts, with Dortmund's Youssoufa Moukoko resetting the bar for all precocious talents.
16 years and 28 days old, the youngest scorer ever in the Bundesliga.
And then there were the goalkeepers. Manuel Neuer voted best in the world. Now we know he's handy around the house as well, however long this repair job lasts. Leverkusen's Niklas Lomb was also good for a chuckle, albeit involuntarily, in which category he had a Vexelf colleague for company.
Oh, Radetzky! Oh my goodness! What an error from Lucas Radetzky!
Football is an entertaining sport, and unfortunately I was the entertainer today.
Some big Bundesliga names bowed out, like the Bender twins, Sven and Lars, hanging up their boots together with one last goal from Lars.
And Lars Bender scores. What a story.
Dortmund bade farewell to longtime fans' favourite and two-time title winner Lukas Piszczek. While in Frankfurt, it was an emotional adios to Argentinian defensive stalwart David Abraham.
Eintracht Frankfurt. The club's like a family, a great traditional football club. I'm proud to have had the opportunity to play at this stadium.
Karl-Heinz Rummenigge stepping down as Bayern München chairman after 40 years with the club altogether. The German national team has two high-profile returnees, Mats Hummels and Thomas Müller. That was the Bundesliga season past. Stay safe and auf Wiedersehen.